period in time between 1945 and today. We are not here to discuss 1900 and 1945. That is a different period. But Ekpe was also governed within that period. But not as Ekpe ethnic nationality, but as older division, of which Ekpe was a member. But from 1945, there was within the nationalist movement the creation of an Ekpe logo stool. Who founded it? Who created it? Who first occupied it? And who got Ekpe people to give him what they call a traditional scepter of office, which Ekpe people call Owekpe, are the owners. I can't aspire for that stool, even if they dash me, I won't take. Why? When they convocated a traditional scepter, they didn't convocate it in my name. They convocated it in the name of Ashram and his family. The operational word was very simple. As you and your kindred rule us, do so with the best interest of the people. If you don't, you and your kindred pay a price of not so doing. That is the principles of inheritance. Then some people come now and tell me that they have become regents. Or a word unheard of in Ekpe history. Some people now come that they say they are acting easy. I don't understand where it came from. Because the Ekpes have only had one succession of easyship. And it was very controversial. Because who brought it in was pushed aside at his death, which was also very contentious, how he died. And they did the kangaroo election where they considered themselves to an electoral college, manipulated the process, installed their friends. It's only in Ekpe where even if you want to do election, let us do it democratically now. Because what we had was a situation where a group of friends considered themselves to an electoral committee. They are also the electoral college. They are also the swearing authority. And predominantly none of them has any royal blood of any sort. So, we are here to put the records straight. We are here to tell Ekpe people that we don't need crisis in Ekpe land. We don't need problems in Ekpe land. We don't need over-ambitious people over thrones and crowns that their forebears had no right to. I can be very over-ambitious to be like Dangote for the interest of Ekpe people. I can be very over-ambitious to be like Otedola for the interest of Ekpe people. But I will not be able to be ambitious to the extent of converting the rights, the traditions, the customs of the Ashram monarchs. That is not mine. Just as nobody can ever dare to convert, be part of, or truncate the right and traditions of the Asha Franks, which I inherit. So, I call on our people to discountenance the movie that is going on there. It's an Hollywood movie. We have seen part 1, we have seen part 2, we are watching part 3. But we hope part 3 does not come. Because crisis in the Niger Delta starts from issues like this. And we call on the governor of the state and all relevant authorities. Especially when the case, this very case we are discussing, is subsistent in a court of competent jurisdiction. The actions that are being taking place there are sub judice to a court process. They are abuse of a court process. And we are insisting that the rule of law and due process must be allowed to prevail to ensure that there is peace and tranquility in Ekpe land, because the Ekpes of Ahoda are very major participants in the River State project. And we must not, for any reason, allow ourselves to be manipulated by interests that are not concomitant with the traditional rights and tradition of our people. My brother is here with me, and he can call our attention to prove to the fact that even by their own law, which they made yesterday, the laws that they are quoting, which was made in about 2012, 2013, when I would have existed since 1900, they did some kind of law. Even by that their bylaw, there is no proviso for a regency for enacting Eze. It doesn't exist. Even by their own law, which they made yesterday. In the event of the death of an Ezekbe, you have a 1-year mourning period, which is a standard. Within that 1-year mourning period, events and affairs in Ekpe are coordinated by the kings of the sub-clans. That is the culture. This is not the first time we have an Ezekbe that was lost. Within that period, you have sub-clans that they have kings. They constitute themselves into a presidium, so to speak, and they attend to issues. It's not for a situation where there are subsistent cases in court and people are jumping up and down and calling themselves this and calling themselves that. It doesn't function that way, and that we wish to debunk. My brother Benjamin, you can have something to say about that.
Thank you very much. As an opinion leader in Ekpe ethnic nationality and as well an activist of note, my interest is most definitely based on the attitudes of most Ekpe or the Ekpeans who now see traditional stew as a business organization. Naturally, Ekpe is an entity that existed with a tradition, and things have been done within Ekpe manner. But it comes to most people understanding that today, Ekpe traditional system or stew is now politicized, and the social decorum is no longer taking place within themselves. Now, I may relate my idea based on a white paper presented on chieftaincy affairs in River State when Zamani Lecourt, Major General then, Governor of River State, presented a paper led by late Professor Tamno Tekena. By that is giving the levels of chieftaincy affair and that is condition based on that. In that of Ekpe traditional setup, it was properly that Ekpe, there is Ekpe logo, that is the first class, should be first class and it must be hereditary, not elective. But to my most concern as an opinion leader, I have much zeal to refute that verbally.
Can you reference that in your document? Do you have any document about
Yeah.
that? Read that.
The document now goes along by telling us that is conclusion on the government of the report and recommendation of the Chieftaincy Review Committee appointed to consider the representation on omitted stools. Paragraph 11 of the government white paper on this report submitted by the committee appointed under Professor T.N. Tamuno to inquire into the classification of chiefs and identification of clans. Communities aggrieved by the omission of the chieftaincy stew from the schedule of recognized stews were advised to make representation to government within 28 days. On the 10th September 1976, the following committee was appointed to consider the representation received from the various communities. Professor F.J. Alagwa, Chairman, Dr. E.A. Nwala, Member, Dr. F.O. Nwato, Member, Major J.G.C. Allen, Member, Mr. F.S. Ateli, Member, Mr. J.A. Ahako, Member, Mr. F.E.J. Osurumba, Member, Chief S.A.J. Wachuku, also Member, Mr. I. Fetipigi, Member, Chief B.A. Bristow, Member, and also Mr. O. Ngofa, Member. On the whole, the committee received 187 representation. The Committee for Administrative Convenience dealt with the full representations in recommendation to consider. The conclusion reached by government after considering the various comments and recommendations are set out below. Then relating to that of Ekpe in particular, as an entity, it was tagged AHODA. Then the petition prayed the government should upgrade the chieftaincies of Iguduya and Ako from third class to second class, that Ezekpe Logbo should be recognized as hereditary and not elective, and that a first class chieftaincy Ahoda should be recognized for Ahoda. As an opinion leader, having related my idea and lay hand to some related document that govern Ekpe chieftaincies too, I frown over this issue and try to put that in order to refute most people action, whereby people now aim by setting up a sort of kangaroo arrangement that is trying to destabilize the system in Ekpe community. Let's show Ekpe community traditional issue, that of the Ezekpe, is not elective rather than hereditary. It was one-man effort, and the man or whosoever his offspring is supposed to, that is to benefit from the struggle or his effort so far. But what we are viewing today and what is going on within this society, just as it is said, the society is made of horns, that is made of a little idea. So I have tried to tell the world that that of Ekpe should have to wear the same other manner of other communities that maintain their tradition, thereby calling or attributing ideas, so that of Ekpe should be that of a hereditary and not elective.
Let me come in here. You see, why I am interested in what he just read now is that there has been persistently this issue of what is the claim of hereditary within the Ekpe traditional system. I have decided that I don't want to go far back. That is a discussion for a different day. But I'm happy that something has been read here, which is a Government of Rivers State report. And the issue of hereditary is in that report. First, minus such reports, I don't understand what people understand by the issue of traditional rulership. For me, as a king who inherited his crown by a will that my grandfather left for me, before I was born, I know that the issue of heritage has to do with a lot of spiritual rites, all of which I have observed. And it was not funny. People only see the outside of it, the razzmatazz. You who is involved know the difficult issues involved. I know what I passed through. People said I was mad at a point, but I'm always here. And I don't think anybody have called me any day to say you talk like a madman. Those are the spiritualities involved